Hello everybody, I hope you're all having a good time. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Star Trek Online. We're continuing the main storyline and we're getting very close to the end. Alright, so it's time to start the Breen stuff with Cold Call. And that came right up, but it is after the Borg Collective. Now you'll find the Breen invasion. And it says, let's see. A longtime foe of both the Federation and the Klingon Empire, the Breen have grown even more aggressive. Now they've turned their attention to the peaceful world of Defera. It's up to you and your crew to determine why the Breen are here and save the Deferi. Now, we've never heard of the Deferi in Star Trek that I am aware of. This is, I think, a cryptic created kind of society or world or whatever. But I could be wrong. Either way, the Breen we've definitely heard about, and it is cool that these next few episodes deal with the Breen, because there's not a lot that we know about the Breen, except that they live in very, very cold environment, and they wear cold environment suits. Apparently they need to live in that cold environment to live. Alright, so first we'll do Cold Call, because that's where you start. Starfleet and the Klingon Empire both respond to the call for assistance after the Breen attack the Deferi. Alright, and this is Ambassador Surra. I was quite impressed with the successful outcome of the recent trade negotiations at Starbase 39 Sierra, and I am pleased to invite the Federation to send an envoy to the Defera system for a more formal meeting. This could be a great opportunity for both of our people. The Federation has requested an alliance with us on several occasions, but my people's adherence to balance has prevented it. Now they are more open to the idea of ties with other worlds. Perhaps your visit will be the start of lasting friendship between our people. Go to the Defera system, which is located in the Defera sector of the Aurelius sector block, and assist the Deferi. Get skill points, and we have a choice of either getting a cryo grenade or polarized parabolic deflector Mark 10. And we'll go over some of this on our way to Aurelius. So we accepted the mission. Now we're going to beam up. And now we're going to warp out. And when we get here to sector space, we're going to set our course for Eta Eridani, which is how we get to Aurelius from here. There's another way you could go. You could go through Beta Ursae, but I think this way's quicker. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about this Breen featured episode series. I looked it up because I had completely forgotten. It's been a long time. But this Breen featured episode series that we're doing now, which is really not called the Breen FE, it's called it's not called, it might be called Breen Invasion, I'm not sure, but I mean it says it there, but I guess that's what it's called. But it was actually, and I was wrong before in the last video, this was actually the very first featured episode series that Cryptic released for Star Trek Online. So, you know, the game came out originally, we're talking like, you know, beginning of 2010 or whatever it was, or 9, or I forgot what year it was exactly. But anyway, the game comes out, right, and it has a certain set of missions in it, stories, episodes, whatever, to play. And at the time, it kind of ended at the Borg Collective. Actually, it ended at the Undine Advance, but what it was that some of these episodes were not out yet, actually. Some of these episodes they released later for the Undine. Like the Undine was not really there until later, a little bit later toward the later on that year. So it pretty much ended at the Borg stuff, and one way that they were going to expand the game, and we've seen them do it I guess 4 times since then, is what's called a feature episode series. And that basically means a series of episodes based on a theme or a storyline. And so this was the first one. And it started with Cold Call, and then Out in the Cold, Cold Comfort, Cold Case, and Cold Storage. 5 episodes, just like every other featured episode series they've released. But this was the very first one they released. So this was really cool to a lot of people in the game. And I did look it up. This came out on August 28th, 2010. So Cold Call came out August 28th, 2010. So and that tells you that's the first one. And what they did is they created a whole new world called Defera, which is a whole new world. But they didn't just do that. They actually gave us a whole new sector. Before the game, when the game was released originally, the Aurelius sector was not part of the game. It was not in the game at all. And in fact, I'm trying to find it on here. Oh yeah, here it is. The Aurelius block. This block was not part of the sector space at all, and there's Defera in it, and you can get to it now by going through Eta Eridani or Beta Ursi, but they basically created this whole new sector block just for this storyline episode. So it was really cool because it gave us a whole new sector block of planets and everything, and they introduced not just the featured episode series, which were 5 episodes, and they were great, but they also introduced dailies that you could do after that, like saving the Defera or the Deferi from the Breen, and various other ones, basically, that you did, and you grinded those to get emblems later on to buy, Mark 10 or Mark 11 very rare gear. So it was very cool. And they did a really good job on their very first featured episode series. It's a lot of fun. And they also offered, for the first time, it was the first episode, or the first series, that allowed you to get a special reward, a limited time special reward, at the very last episode. And that special reward was the Breen, which we have now on our ship, because they allowed you to take it and put it on the exchange, actually. And his name is Tran, and you'll meet him in one of these episodes. And our mission reward is that he defected, basically, the Breen, and came to our side, and so now he was a bridge officer of ours, and that's the whole story of how we got Tran, the Breen, and it made sense. So that was really, really, really cool at that time. And so having that Breen, at very first the Breen had some bugs, and he wasn't using some of his special features, but now he does. And you'll notice there's no Spock to tell us about the Aurelius sector. When they introduced the new sector block, they didn't really put an introductory voice or whatever to it. They just kind of gave us this whole new sector block, which now we are in Aurelius, and now we can explore. You have the Defera system down here, Deferi Outpost 3, Manic System, VCA 4001, Kelvani, Leonis, Rava, Xingha. All of these systems are used in this whole FE series, so it's really cool. Basically a new part of space, which was really awesome at the time. And those dailies are still there, by the way. So you can still do those dailies. I think they give you dilithium now instead of emblems. But yeah, so that basically explains the whole Defera thing. The Breen thing. It used to be at the beginning. It used to be, like I said, the first FE. So. And at the time, it wasn't woven into the storyline, so you could actually play it any time during the game you wanted. You didn't have to wait till the end of the game. See, the FEs, they've totally reconfigured the way storylines are. In the past, before free-to-play, the featured episode series, all of them, were separate from the main storylines. So you could play them once you were level appropriate, and that was basically Lieutenant Commander, and then you could play the featured episode series. I wish they still did it that way, because like I said, the rewards that you get for this mission, the ship set you get, is more relevant earlier in the game than it is at in-game. It's really not very relevant at in-game, because it has been surpassed by so many other sets, and it's just not a worthy set compared to the others, especially when you're going up against the Borg. So they've rendered it useless, and that sucks, but what you gonna do? So anyway, I like this featured episode series, though, to be honest with you. It's the very first one they did, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of ground and a lot of space fighting and a lot less diplomatic stuff. And to be honest with you, in a game like this, that's what I like. So, I'll show you guys as we do this whole series here how fun it actually is. Alright, go to Defera system. This whole series is actually a lot about discovery and exploration, as you're going to find out. It has a really, really good storyline that we saw explored in the Next Generation, and you're going to see that here. So I'll show you guys. It's pretty awesome. And you don't even get it from this first episode. You won't even get what that storyline is or building up to, but you'll see in the next few episodes how that storyline develops, and it's pretty awesome. So here's Defera. We've arrived at the Defera system, performing standard sensor sweeps. Some of the debris is only days old, but there have been no reports from the Deferi of accidents or combat in this area. I don't like the looks of this. I recommend we proceed with caution. The Jessica is standing by for the approach to Defera, sir. Shall we begin the escort? Welcome to Defera. May you be blessed with balance. We appreciate the Federation's willingness to meet with us on at these trying times. So the Jessica is our escort to the planet. Basically, we just have to keep up with it until we get in range. And that's pretty simple. So, you know, they built this whole world, a whole new world for this featured episode series. None of this was in the game originally, so this was really cool to see. And as we beam down on it, you'll see how full it feels, how rich. It feels like you're actually on an active planet for the first time. There's the Jessica. She's got to keep following her. Sir, we're picking up an approaching warp signature, attempting to identify it now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, look. There it is. It's a Breen ship. And it's flying by, trying to figure out what's going on. Sir, the ship was running a subspace jammer, so we weren't able to get a lock on it before it warped out. I am, however, picking up a residual warp signature, and we might learn. Go away. We might learn more from a detailed scan. So let's head to this warp signature and scan. Alright, let's see what we figured out. There's not enough here to get a lock on a warp trail. The ship is using jamming technology. So we will continue to follow the Jessica. If it's one thing I do not like in a game, it is random invites. I suggest for anybody playing Star Trek Online, do the courtesy of talking to the person before just randomly inviting them to a team or to a fleet or as your friend. You can private message them and talk to them and ask them if that is something they would like to do. That's just common courtesy, ethics and all that. That's my philosophy. Alright, greetings Jessica. Greetings Jessica, escort ship Pandorica. We are required to identify your credentials and verify you are in fact the correct ship prior to granting you access to Defera. Please submit to a scan, alright? No assistance is required at this time. Thank you for your cooperation. Our scans are complete. Please provide us with your clearance code before you establish orbit. So there we go. Thank you for the protection and escort. Your diligence and readiness does you credit. Perhaps later we will be able to learn more about that strange ship. For now, let us discuss the possibility of trade and diplomacy between our people. My, go away. My attaché will send you the planetary coordinates for transport. These coordinates will take you to one of our famous historical parks and preservation sites. I hope that you enjoy your visit to Defera. Alright, beam down. Now we get to take our full away team. That might give you a clue that there's going to be some action. Anytime you beam down with a full away team, yeah, something might be gonna happen. Oh man, I cannot make this whole thing go away. What the heck? Is that a bug or what? Oh good, they're okay, good. Alright, so now as you can see, here we are on Defera. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful world. And it's active. It actually makes you feel like it's an active planet. Look at all these ships in the sky. You know, you don't see that on a lot of planets in this game. And I wish there were more like it because that's what it would be like, right? Everything would feel alive. There would be people everywhere like this. So this was one of the first worlds they created after the game had come out. And they did a good job making it feel like you're in the game, part of this world. Oh, by the way, I did add a different tribble because now we're going up against the Breen. I replaced my remodulator because I won't need it for the Breen. I replaced it with a cryo tribble, and it gives that +5 cold resistance because the Breen have a cold attack, and it is bad. It is nasty. So anything you can do to help against that is recommended. So this is Ambassador Surra. Basically, he's just a straight walk from where we beamed in. That's all I did. And we're going to talk to him now. Welcome to Defera. This site is the oldest continually inhabited site on my world. And as such, we find it to be the ideal place to welcome visitors. Tell me about the Deferi. We have an old culture steeped in tradition and respect for all beings. The Makers taught us the concept of balance, and we strive for it in all things. For more than a century, we have remained neutral in our dealings. So that tells you about the Deferi. They are about balance and neutrality and not taking sides. But they are wanting to expand. Their population is growing, and they do need to expand. So to correct this imbalance, a portion of their people have volunteered to seek new home among the stars. This, of course, has put us into greater contacts with beings such as yourself, and we welcome the new ideas and technology that you have to offer. Okay. Tell me about the ruins. Now, we haven't explored that yet, but there are ruins on this planet, and that's going to get into a very cool storyline. We believe that the site to the east of here was once used by the Preservers, because we have located several artifacts that appear to correspond with their technology. Although we do not know for certain, it is our belief that the Deferi were one of the races seeded throughout the quadrant by the Preservers. They, like us, revered balance and saw life as sacred. So there is your clue right there about what this storyline is about. So I guess I was wrong. They actually do tell you in the first episode this storyline is going to be about the Preservers, which hopefully you remember from Star Trek The Next Generation. Picard dealt with, I believe it was Professor Galen, I want to say, but it was definitely one of his professors or something, and they went on a quest throughout the galaxy to find these hints and clues and artifacts, and came to the realization that an ancient civilization called the Preservers seeded life throughout the galaxy, and that's why we all look humanoid. So that gives the reason for that. Not all life was seeded by the Preservers, but the humanoid looking life definitely came from the Preservers. Can you explain more about balance? Everything must be in balance. Basically, they're neutralists. Tell me more about the Preservers. The Preservers were an ancient race that died out eons ago, but made a great impact on the galaxy in their time. The Preservers would transplant members of races that were threatened by extinction to worlds where they could thrive. The planet Emerald was settled by them, and they brought ancient Terrans there to create a new community. For many years, scientists theorized that the Preservers were responsible for the spread of humanoids across the galaxy. We now know that the Preservers not only transplanted communities, but also created them. The Preservers believed that they were alone in the galaxy. In the hopes of creating the ecosystem of races like themselves, they seeded their genetic material on other planets. In this way, they gave their children the companions that they never had. So that is similar to like the Ancients in Stargate. The Ancients, were the first civilization of humanoid life form on Earth. They had come from another galaxy, though, but they seeded life in the Milky Way galaxy, and that's where all the humanoids came from. Alright. Sir, sensors from the Pandorica are picking up Breen transporter signatures. Get ready. They could be hostile. Now, right here, this is where it all goes to crap. So, set yourself up a bunch of stuff, and because the Breen, they bring it. They really do bring it. They have some cryo weapons that will kill you badly. Stop you in your tracks and kill you badly. And here they are. Stay away from the clouds of cold. Cloud of cold damage. It hurts bad. Okay. That's one group. Now it says clear the city. 1 of 5. That means in the city, as you can see, Breen have beamed down and are causing a problem. So we need to defeat all the groups. So this is our introduction to the Breen, basically, and how to fight them. Alright, so the first thing I do is I go counterclockwise, and the reason is because you need to end up on this side, because Breen spawn outside at the ruins, and you end up having to go outside here into the ruins and defeat them. So it makes sense just to go around counterclockwise and defeat all the groups along the way, and then go out that way, and that's just the natural path. So I always go to the left and start this way and just work my way counterclockwise. And all the Breen are in like each corner of this map.
Enemy target. Spiking damage detected.
See that cold cryo grenade? That's a bad one. It slows you way down. It does a lot of damage, especially if you stay in the cloud. Okay, that's 2 groups. Now we keep working our way counterclockwise. And deal with this group down here.
Enemy target on Enemy combatants in close proximity.
And that's 3 groups. Now all I have to do is keep going around here. We'll go under the bridge, and you'll see that there's another group up here.
Enemy target.
See his cryo beam there? Try to avoid that cryo beam because it will do a lot of damage. Okay, that is 4 groups, and now it's time for the last one, which is just right over this way. There we go, that's the 5 groups in the city. And you see now you just end up going down this way for the other 2 groups. And the ruins are over here. So that makes perfect sense to just go counterclockwise like that. Because you come out right where you need to be. Now these 2 groups are just a little bit harder because they have the scientist guys and the tactician. They're pretty tough. And then the final boss, of course, is even tougher. By tough, I mean they have weapons on them that if they fire at you with, like he was just trying to do, but he failed, they hurt really bad. So you don't want them to fire on you. Alright, and now, after this group, then the boss will spawn up there. Okay, let's see. One more guy. Yeah. Okay, now the boss is going to come down. Best thing to do before you answer the transmission is get your stuff ready. He's going to appear right here. So if you get stuff ready, like that, now when you answer his transmission, his name is Thought Win, he will come down. He is pretty tough. Alright, we broke through Federation defenses and attacked your home world. We ruined your fleets during the war. You should know better than to oppose us. We will wrest the Preserver secrets from this place, and we will destroy anyone who attempts to stop us. That weapon right there, bad. Hurts bad. As you can see, everybody is dying. But we got him, finally. Yeah, that weapon does some... Oh, he's not dead, okay. Never mind. False alarm. He will be dead shortly. You die now, and you're very, very unhappy.
Enemy combatants eliminated.
Dang, he is hitting me hard, and I'm hitting him hard, and... Ooh, he's tough. Oh, and there... Oh, look at that. See that cryo stuff? Look at that. Oh, I'm gonna die now. See that cryo stuff? Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It's actually worse than the Borg. The Borg, at least, you can get away from. This stuff, it just spreads. Okay, somebody revive me. Yeah, be careful of that stuff. Obviously, it is not safe for me to remain. It is not safe for me to remain here, given the threat of our further attacks. I shall return to the Jessica for now. I believe I will be of best use there. Sir, there are more ships warping in. We need you and the away team back on the ship. So now it's time for some space action. We did the ground part here on this first episode. Now it's time for the space part, and that's what I love about this featured episode series, is it includes both in one episode. Good space battle, good ground battle. Alright, so we got to take out these Breen, and these are all Breen. And they have special weapons, too.
Target's shield has failed.
One of their weapons that they really like to use are tractor beams. They like to hold you in place a lot. So watch out for that. See, they're using tractor beams on that ship. Now they're holding me. The way to get around tractor beams is to have polarized hull. Now I got two of them tractoring me, but with polarized hull on, the tractor beam does not have an effect. So polarized hull, that is your defense against tractor beams. Until it runs out, and then you're still held in place. Alright, now we have their warship. Yeah. And it's pretty tough, too, I'll tell you. Transphasic cluster torpedo. Try to destroy that. But I failed. And you can see what damage that does. Not good. Oh, and he's got Tychon's Rift. Pulling power away from all my systems. I need to buff up here. I'm not doing too good. I'm not even doing much damage to him. And now they're siphoning power away. They got... yeah, see, they got a lot of weaponry. They're pretty powerful, the Breen. They really are. I'm gonna pop a squadron of fighters to help me out. It has taken forever to bring the warship down. Wow. Tough ship. Yeah, there we go. Now we got him. Wow. That was rough. So you can see in a cruiser even as much damage as I can take. That was rough. That was really rough. And I'm beefed up pretty well too. Just tells you how good the Breen actually are. Sir, the Breen don't attack at random. I'd say that there is more going on here than the Defera are telling us. We're being held by the Jessica. Shall I put it on screen? Yes, thank you. My friend, I have not been completely honest with you. I fear my actions are out of balance with the universe. I think we should speak face to face. I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. Because the Breen are on your butts. Why are the Breen on your butts? There's got to be a reason for it. What do they want? Are they after preserver technology? It seems so. Yeah, I wish we got to see more of the Breen in the show. We got to see more of them in Deep Space Nine because of the Dominion War and that they, teamed up with the Cardassians. But I would have liked to have seen even more about the Breen because they're an interesting race. Alright. Honorable ally, I apologize for my secrecy, but at the time it was the best course of action. This is not the first time that the Breen have attacked Defera. Their aggression has increased in recent weeks, and we have been unable to either stop them or open a diplomatic dialogue. The Federation has always promised to be our ally in a time of need. While we prefer to remain neutral in your conflicts, we have looked favorably upon the Federation's actions. You seek to maintain peace and stability throughout the Alpha Quadrant. Now we are in need of your help. The Breen are attacking our ships and colonies without provocation. Hundreds have already died, and I fear that more lives will be lost unless we have your assistance. My people face destruction. I cannot believe that the balance of the universe requires us to die. I will be in contact with you again. I can only hope that your efforts will tip the balance in our favor. If there is anything else you need of me, just ask. Alright, we already did that. Tell me about the historical ruins. We did that. What could the Breen want at the ruins? The Breen could share our belief that the ruins are the remains of a preserver installation. The preservers were powerful. If the Breen gained access to their knowledge or technology, they might be able to use it to shift the balance of power in the quadrant. So we need to watch this. Tell me more, but we already did that. Alright, we're done for today. So that's basically it. Yeah, the Breen are after the preserver technology, and that is not a good thing. Ambassador Surra has safely returned to the Jessica and requests blah blah blah. So depart system. And that's it. That's the first episode, Cold Call. And that's our introduction to the Breen. Basically, this episode just introduced you to fighting the Breen on ground and space. And we'll do a lot more of that for sure. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So let's turn in Cold Call. And now the choices we get for rewards, very interesting. We get a, we can choose a cryo grenade. Unfortunately, for this, it is consumed on use, which means you use it and it's gone, and you can only get one per character. But you use it and it's gone, consumed on use. So that means you have to keep replaying this mission to keep getting them. They do give kinetic damage. 50% shield penetration, which is awesome. Creates a 6 meter radius of cryo cloud for 10 seconds. And then does 3 cold every 1 second, 100% shield penetration. Minus 100 cold resistance, plus minus 66% run speed, and a 10% chance to hold. So, cryo grenade is pretty darn awesome. Unfortunately, you use them up, and then there are none left, and you have to replay and get more of them. But they are good against, well, any enemy in the game. They're even good against the Borg. I mean, really good against the Borg, because it slows the Borg down, penetrates their shields. So it's actually a really awesome weapon, and I don't know why it's just a green item. It should be like a rare or very rare item, because it's actually pretty good. Only problem is, again, consumed on use. So you have to keep replaying this mission to get them. Alright, the second item we can get is part of the Breen set. It's called the Breen Absolute Zero set, and it's just a Mark 10 set right now, but once we get to VA or level 50, it would become a Mark 11 set, but it doesn't go any higher than that. And so you can see the stats right there for that deflector, but the real benefits obviously of these ship sets are the fact of the bonuses you get when you get all of the sets. So the first bonus you get if you have 2 sets of this set, or 2 pieces of this set, is called superconducting phase channels. And then if you have all 3 items, you get Breen Energy Dissipator. And you can see you have the Resilient Shield, Combat Impulse Engine, and the Deflector. Those are the 3 items. So let's we can't right click on this because we have to actually have that item to view. I was going to show you all the details about it and all that. Oh, it went away and I want it back. No, it's still there. So I'll tell you what, the cryo grenade, that's self-explanatory. Everything you need to know about it is right there. You even saw it used in this episode. The Breen were throwing it at me. You know what that is. That's easy. You get that item, put it in the device slot of your character, and bam, you will have cryo grenades. So you know what that is. I don't really need to get that and show you that. That's self-explanatory. I'll go ahead and get this so I can explain what those bonuses are, and then explain why they're not good against the Borg, because they're really only good against the Breen. So we took that item, and now we can right click, do info, and you will see that if you have 2 of the items, you get something called superconducting phase channels. It's a passive ability, which means it'll auto enable by itself when it needs to. And all it does is it gives you a plus 29.5 transphasic projectile damage and plus 29.5 Starship electroplasma systems. So basically, it's really only good if you have transphasic torpedoes installed. It won't affect any other torpedoes. It only affects transphasic torpedoes, and it will give you plus 29.5 transphasic projectile damage on top of what you already got. So it's good if you're firing transphasics, but that's all it's good for. And that's just the two. That's just the two set bonus. If you have all 3 of them, you get what's called a Breen energy disruptor, and it's a ability that you enable. It targets the foe. You get 10-kilometer range, just like any other weapon. Takes half a second to activate, and it has a 1 minute and 20-second recharge. And when you shoot it to the target, what it does is it only takes down their power settings -9 for 6.7 seconds. So not even 10 seconds, but under 10 seconds, and it only reduces all their power settings -9. So that's not a lot, and for very long. And then to self, it gives you +9 all power. So basically it's taking -9 all power from them and giving you +9 all power, but it's only for 6.7 seconds. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's it. So the bonuses are not great on this thing, and none of them will help you in any way against the Borg, because the Borg, they fire plasma weapons, and something that the Omega and Mako shield do, and even the Borg shield, is they have a plasma resist, so they resist plasma weapons. So that's more useful against the Borg. Also, the Borg stuff, it gives you a hull and shield regeneration with just the 2-piece set plus the console. So that's more useful than anything. The Mako shield itself is better than what the Breen shield would be, because that's just a resilient shield, and the Mako shield is I forgot what the Mako shield is, but it's better than a resilient shield. I think the Omega is resilient, but even that resilient shield is better than this shield that you'd get. So really, this set, the only reason why you would want to run the whole Breen set, is if you were going to be fighting the Breen. If that's all you were going to be doing at in-game is fighting the Breen, this would be a good set to use. But you don't, so it's kind of pointless. Now, if you were able to get this set at the beginning of the game as like a lieutenant commander, like you used to do, where you could run this set as a lieutenant commander, as a commander, and as a captain, and you would have abilities that are not elsewhere in the game. I mean, there's no other sets at low end ranks, so this would be a set that you could use at low end rank. And I think that's where this set fits, because the bonuses are not that great, and it would fit better there than it would at in-game, where it's completely useless. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. However, that doesn't take away from the funness factor of the featured episode series itself. It's really fun. So, the rewards are mixed, but the funness is there. Alright, so in the next episode we'll do Out in the Cold, and that reward gives you the Breen transphasic cluster. So I mean, again, if you were going to use those transphasic weapons, that set would work, and you could totally set up a build that way, but it's not necessarily the best build there is out there. But the rewards are kind of decent. So basically, for that first mission, I would choose the consumable cryo grenades. Go ahead and get them, equip them on your character, and toss grenades out when you need them, because that's more useful than the deflector. It's way more useful than the deflector. So I kind of regret now. I wish I had gotten the grenades, but I did want to show you that just so you know. So, you know, that's the way that is. But anyway, we will play the next episode in the next episode out in the cold, and we'll do that. We'll do that right after this one. So I hope you all enjoyed Cold Call, starting of the Breen invasion, starting of a very cool storyline, has to deal with the preservers, and that's really cool that they brought that into the game. So I'll see you all later. Thank you again so much for watching.